Hey guys, welcome to the High Performance Tip for today. I'm Chris Reynolds, and we're diving into an episode with the one and only Geoffrey Kent, the founder of Abercrombie and Kent, one of the largest and most successful luxury travel companies in the world. And on this high performance tip, you guys, I asked Geoffrey about instinct. And I did some research before the podcast and learned more and more about Geoffrey, how he likes to operate. And one of the things I learned is that Geoffrey doesn't necessarily like marketing plans or business plans. He likes to act on instinct. And he actually has some yellow Post-it notes that he puts by his bed every single night, because if he wakes up in the middle of the night or late at night or early in the morning, he writes those ideas down so they're not lost. It's very instinctual for him to operate that way. And so on this clip, I asked him about a time that he can share with us and when he was acting on instinct. And he shares about this really cool story where he asks his driver, so he had a private driver at the time, to follow all the richest people in London. So to go to a restaurant where he knew the wealthiest people in London hung out, and then follow the people that only have cars that are worth $250,000 or more, and see where they hang out for the day. So then he comes back to London, and his driver gives him the information of where all the wealthy people with these amazing cars are hanging out. And that location, he decided to advertise, rent a space there to sell his luxury adventure trips. And it was quite instinctual, he said. And it's an incredible little clip here. So let's not waste any more time and hop into it with Geoffrey Kent. One of the things I learned about you, Geoffrey, is that you like to act on instinct and intuition. And you even mentioned that you don't care so much for like marketing plans or business plans because they take out the instinct and the kind of gut reaction. Do you mind sharing some times in your life when you acted on that instinct and how you do that regularly and how you apply it to business?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is today everybody gives a long lecture. They come in with photographs of everything, PowerPoint presentation,
Yeah.
and at the end of it, there's always a reason when you're starting something. Much more easy to say no than yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was yes, it would have been done already. So nobody's going to say yes to anything new. They're going to say no. Then they protect their position. They haven't made a mistake, but you don't grow that way.
Right.
So actually, only an entrepreneur who owns his own business and doesn't care actually should do this, all right? So I'll just give you one. I mean, there's so many times I believe my own instinct, from building the ships in Egypt to, I don't know, the Tender Camp idea, which was the best ever. Actually, doing photographic safaris was a really good idea
Yeah.
because anyone could do it. But a very quick one. I was looking around London about 10 years ago, and I thought we should be selling. I always got bothered that being travel, we never have anything to show anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I can sell you a Mercedes, because look at my Mercedes. I can get a LaFerrari, take you for a ride in it. You buy a LaFerrari with me in it, you buy it in a second. Okay? But I can show you the car. We have nothing to show. It's just an idea.
Yeah.
And everyone can say, well, I can do that idea, but cheaper. Or why go with them? We can do it better. There's no reason to do it. And so I said, we should actually be retailing. We should actually have a shop to go to, a bricks and mortar shop. So I told my driver, I was going off to Africa for a while to do a movie for about a month. And you're going to be sitting here in London doing nothing. Go and sit outside Harry's Bar. Harry's Bar is where all the ladies go to lunch. It's one of the top clubs,
Okay.
and then I go there a lot. And I said, go and sit outside Harry's Bar at lunch. Every lunch, sit outside, and I want you to follow every car which costs more than £250,000. Right?
Uh-huh.
Don't follow a normal car. Big luxury car. Follow them after lunch and find out where they're going. Because they're going shopping. They go to Harry's Bar and then they go shopping. So find out where these luxury cars go to.
Uh-huh.
So he said, yeah. Okay, good. So I got back and finally said to me, Mr. Kent, you know that that idea you gave to me before you left. He said about going to Harry's bar. I said, yeah, I remember. What about it? He said, you told me to go and stand outside Harry's bar. And so I did that. And I thought, oh, wow. So did they all go to one place, or did they move around everywhere? Did they go to one? And he said, yes. Over half went to one place. I said, no. Over half of Harry's bar went to one place? He said, yes. I said, guess where it is, Mr. Kit? I said, I have no idea. That's why I spent a year looking. I've looked at Knightsbridge, I've looked at St. James, I've looked at everywhere, where all the rich people should go. And I'm never quite sure, because London's sort of split in half.
Yeah.
And he said, they all went to Harrods. And a good friend of mine owned it then. And so I said, wow. So I went to Harrods, and there after lunch, the ladies went there.
Yeah.
And then, cut a long story short, I made a deal with Harrods. There was a travel company there already. I said they're 3-star business, get rid of them, which we did. There's a break in the clause. I opened up Abercrombie & Kent. I had to pay £280,000 to have it decorated. I made it look like a beautiful inside of a yacht, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
It does millions of pounds every year. And perfect. So that's instinct.
There you have it, you guys. What do you think about that? Using instinct to make quick decisions, to try things out and see if they work. And one thing that Geoffrey mentions later in the podcast is that he got the idea from the yellow Post-it notes that he always writes down or keeps by his bedside, so he can write down ideas that come to him early in the morning, late at night, in the middle of the night. And that's where he got the idea, because he spent years trying to figure out where he should advertise a brick and mortar location for his travel company for the ultra rich people in London. And then he just had his driver follow the people that had the supercars in London to see where they go. And it worked. He had a company that does millions of dollars a year based on that one instinctual idea. No business plan, no marketing plan. Sometimes you just got to go off the fly. So what I want to leave you guys with is, what are you doing to collect those thoughts of inspiration? Do you have Post-it notes? Do you have maybe audio clips that you save for yourself? Do you write them down in a journal? What do you do? And then how often are you implementing them? Actually, later in the podcast, Geoffrey then goes on. The full podcast, you guys, is coming out, I think, in another week or so. Highly recommend you check it out. I think it's episode number 562. And Geoffrey goes into more detail on acting on instinct, never letting things build up, acting on instinct rapidly to see if that idea is valid, because he believes that idea comes to him for a reason, and it's usually a valid reason, and to act on those quickly instead of letting them pile up, which actually what I do, I let mine pile up way too much. So I'm going to start implementing that as well. You guys, again, Geoffrey's podcast is coming out. Let me see. It's episode number 562. And with Geoffrey Kent, founder of Abercrombie & Kent, a multi-billion-dollar company. If you like what you're hearing and you want to make sure you don't miss any of these tips, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share with your friends. See you on the next episode.